Hi, welcome back to part two of what I did to shift timelines as a stay at home mom. So, we in the first video, or I in the first video, discussed the importance of stillness, how it's non negotiable, and how it needs to be done in every moment that you are feeling a dysregulation in your nervous system or in your life in general. This could come as an angry energy, a disassociative type of sensation, anything that's going to knock you off of a feeling of contentment. It's time to regulate, because what we are doing in this process of regulation is beginning the beautiful unfolding to you, as well as creating a new baseline. So once we begin to implement and your body begins to become comfortable with the regulation and the new pattern of regulation, we're going to baseline to a more balanced level versus spiraling, going into shame, guilt, anger, various emotions that are really low vibrational, that are very difficult to kind of maneuver out of and regain balance. And so we're trying to fill this gap in between how good we intend to feel and how low we can fall. And that's what, we want to utilize stillness for, but stillness is going to be your key to operating the journey ahead, because we have to tune into our intuition and come into alignment with our true selves and what we are intending to do on this path. And I'm here to tell you that all of your incredible and intricate desires, the darkest, deepest desires of yourself, the ones where you wish to be seen, or the ones where you wish to express yourself, be creative, or the ones where you um, envision your life completely different than it's been lived. Maybe you're in a career that was something that you thought you needed to do because you had a different life vision when you began the journey, but now you're understanding that you wish you had more free time. Maybe you want to start a farm, maybe you want to live off the grid, maybe you want to move to a big city. There's Who cares? It's whatever internal desire that you truly feel that burns within you, that you are pushing away, or something that you would be happier if you had. So, those, I guess I'm describing, are very large, but there's also ones that you can do on a smaller scale that will still lead to the big one. And I think, in my personal experience, going for the gusto was maybe not the correct route. But then again, any incremental change you're going to make is going to be in a physical world. So you're going to have to understand that the physical world around you is shifting in order for this to come into fruition. So no matter how big the manifestation is, things around you are going to begin to fall or shift unless you are pretty aware of the things that are holding you back and you're refusing to let go of them. So, I will give you a little bit of a story before we get into more of the process of what we're going to do here. So, I have a friend who, the situation is currently in her life, she has a relationship with somebody now going on 3 years. Her first uh, serious adult relationship since her last serious 20-year-old something relationship. This one has more financial backing in it, has more future plans. There's family, there's a very promising future with this person, and they are very much in love. It's a beautiful thing to see. um I've known this girl now for however old my daughter is. It's my babysitter's daughter. She 8 years. So, in the course of those 8 years, she had already gone to Costa Rica to become a yoga instructor. And she was constantly at the beach. Every chance she got, she was at the beach. She's always worked at this local garbage company. She's like in the office as a supervisor. So she's got a good job that gave her enough money to always have a nice car. She's always been really cute, going out, doing this, doing that. living her total life, having a blast. No reason to stop what she's doing because she's doing great. But she has this yearning to live differently, to be something different. She even went to go to another country to gain education for it. So she comes back and she maintains her same life. Now, here we are in this present day moment. And the thing with this girl is that she is a beach bum type of personality at heart. She wants to live more fluidly, more openly. She loves to be out loud, but she's very introverted in person. But her Instagram, you would not think that. So she's got this depth to her, and she is refusing to give into her true passion. Instead, for 8 years that I know of, she's been working there, she has begrudgingly woken up every single morning. She is not a morning person at all. So every morning she gets up, she's foggy, upset. She's loading herself with coffee, which she probably needs water, right? So she's doing all of these different things and she needs to get ready for work. And so it's just an horrible experience she has every single day, and she will still tell you how much she just can't stand it. But she wants to move up. She's looking for a better position. She's doing that. And she's still having these spiritual experiences with me and with others in her day-to-day life, drawing her back to yoga specifically. Now, at this point in her life, like I said, she is in love. I don't think I've looked at the camera. She is in love and they want children, but she's lost her menstrual cycle. And she is younger than me by at least 5, 6 years. So she's lost her menstrual cycle and has gone to the doctor to try to get it back. So they gave her a low dose birth control or low dose estrogen birth control to bring her period back. It did bring her period back, but now her hair started to fall out. So it's like, which one do I choose? And she comes to me because she trusts she trusts me. And I'm trying to tell her, you holding on to this job is literally causing dis-ease in your body, and you are fully aware of that, and you're still choosing to avoid this because you're afraid of what it could mean. But she's also in a situation where she doesn't necessarily need to worry about money on that scale. She could create a nest egg. She lives still at home because it's very expensive in LA, and she's in a good situation. So she could do different things to maneuver her way out of it, but she's refusing to. And so now she's experiencing this in her body. And it is my firm belief, which I am not a medical professional in any way, this is for entertainment purposes only. I firmly believe that her body is trying to communicate with her, and that if she was able to move more into her authentic self, that things would begin to flow again. And from my own experience with my internal work, that's what's happened to me. I woke up one morning, and, there were incremental changes every day, but I woke up one morning and I was like, I look really different. I look really good. My hair looks different. Things, and then some other spooky things started to happen that aided me along this little glow up thing that I've been going on. So we can get into that later, but what I noticed by healing myself and being more in my authentic self, the lines on my face began to soften. I began to get energetic weight falling off my body, where people were noticing and yelling at me. I was in the Six of Wands energy, right? Where you just come back from war and you're being celebrated and everybody's cheering you on. People were yelling at me across the park, you look so good. I'm like, thank you. It's like it was a weird situation that just happened one day because I had been working on specifically finding value in myself. Okay, so I'm going to kind of guide you through what it looks like after you begin to try to implement a change in yourself. So, we're going to start with the full energy. So, this is the full energy where you are now walking in to your new exciting idea or desire. You are walking into this new dreamscape of a visionary world in your own mind where you get to envision what it would be like to now walk that path and decide to move forward. It's like, wow, okay, so I want this. And in order to get this, which I can have it because it's in my psyche for a reason, that means it's calling me. And that's a lot of other stuff that we can talk about, but I want to be very focused here. Um, you have a right to that desire. Now go after it, okay? It doesn't matter what it looks like or how you feel now. It's a beautiful unfolding. And as long as you put one foot in front of the other, you are on your way and you will begin to experience true, beautiful magic. And I am not kidding. It's like not, abracadabra, things are popping out and different things like that, but your physical body is going to begin to shift in the morning. You need that healing to occur in your inner self to release the cells from the intense work they've been um determined to help you perform with all of this fight or flight emotion constantly hitting your cells, all of the stress, all of this anger, all of this nervousness, all of these people pleasing things where you are constantly giving and never receiving. Your cells are exhausted, but they've been there for you. Now it's time to let them do what they want to do. And so, what I would suggest doing is beginning the path and just allowing the unfolding to take place. And every morning, get excited. Okay. So we are now in this full energy, right? This is going to be our first step where we're like, this is what I'm going after. I do not quite understand the obstacles on my path, but I am excited, I am free, I am clear, and I'm going to go for it. That is this energy. And this little white dog isn't necessarily going to be a warning to you. This little white dog, white for a reason, right? Purity is your little guide. You will not be alone on this journey. Not only are you able to tap into all of these people, such as myself, who are currently in, I would say I'm in liminality right now, where I'm walking out of the old self. I'm definitely in the new space, but I've got all this empty, open space that I'm trying to now convert into my new reality because this is a physical thing. This is something that we are doing physically. There's layers to this process. And just get comfortable with that because what you are truly seeking is in here, but it's not going to look how it looks or how it's been given to you in the movies. It's here, but you have to see it for yourself in your own way. Sorry, I'm touching my hair so much. So you will not be alone. All right. So you've got your idea, you've got your inspiration. For me, this was getting out of my lack mindset. I wanted to seek value in myself because I understood that money flows to value. And so I thought I was valuable. I was a valuable asset as an employee in every sense of the word. However, the value I held in myself, none. None at all. And I didn't even realize that. So, just like my friend who obviously needs to leave her job in this circumstance, for this example, obviously needs to leave her job to unlock more ease in her body, mine was not so simple. So, sure, maybe there were tower moments that I could have foreseen that I needed to possibly tend to. But I had no freaking clue what was coming at me at all. And so this is where things get a little bit funky, right? So I had this idea of who I wanted to be. I began to journal. I began to get more clear on my vision. With this process, I was able to write down a dollar amount, write down why this was important to me in terms of feelings and emotions. And in terms of what I was going to do when I got to this point, because there is a little bit of undertone here that people need to understand. You are dealing with true forces that create and perceive and clear and cleanse. This is real stuff. And they want authenticity. You know, the universe wants authenticity. So if you authentically want to live a life of luxury and material items and da 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 da, and that's your goal, is to live in this material physical reality, because you're basing your worth on these material things, because that's how you see your value. Sure, you can get them. Sure, I'm sure, because that's part of the tree of life, right? The man's journey through life is you're presented with all these different things that you need to acquire on your life path in order to get to a place where you can even imagine a bigger life. You need to have all of your basic needs met before you can even decide to dream about anything bigger. So, yeah, a lot of people will land there because that is part of the journey. But I will let you know that if you are trying to seek a higher source in all of this, and you are trying to kind of just foundationally build on your journey, it's like, okay, so in order to get here, this is what I perceive needs to happen, so I'm going to move in this direction. So for me, for my example, I want to seek value. I want to gain some type of an income, because in my life personally, yes, I value um what I get once I have this in my possession. I value the fact that I can now buy a piece of land and give a community farm to my neighborhood, and give, organic foods to a low income impoverished neighborhood, versus buying this car, and I want a G-Wagon, and I want all this stuff, because that leads to a lot of stress and emptiness and things like that. That's not necessarily my plight. I want the monetary income because I have a lot of things in my life that I just feel like I need to move out of the way so I can be, I don't know. This is where I'm at, you know? So, but the thing is that inside, I am being true and authentic to myself and in my heart and to others. I am not in a glutton type of energy where I'm just trying to consume and being like, okay, this is mine, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I'm not a materialistic type of person in that sense, where I want those items to make myself feel better. I am very detached. However, I do see that in this world, I need a stream of income. I need to help my mom. I need to move things a little bit faster. And in my journey, this is what's in my trajectory. So, yes, manifest your desires, see what comes of them. But I invite you to understand that with true authenticity and truly understanding that kindness and love and unconditional love for others is the main goal here. To connect yourself to everyone is the main goal here. Enlightenment, uncovering things. Everyone's at a different place in their journey. So I don't want to diminish anybody's desires at all, because they're all necessary for the progress of everything. I just would like to invite you to understand that when you are walking this path, when you're literally dealing with terms like God and devil, there is an honorable value in type of integrity that I hope you decide to carry within yourself. Because once you make it past this portion of visualization and implementing more of a organized structure in how you perceive that new timeline in yourself, so that you can begin to walk the path of that person. Because what are you going to do in the meantime? Sit around and wait? Yeah, you could. Or you could say, I'm going to fill the gaps between the person that I visualize being and the person that I am now. What does this person do in the morning versus what I'm doing in the morning? And how can I shift that? All of those things are going to aid you on your journey moving forward, but none of them are necessarily going to um get you as far as the universe is going to push you. So you have to begin to open yourself up to new ideas, new things, and show that you're in a receiving present energy through stillness and implementation. And then once you begin to get clear, right, you are now clear on your path. So you've got this Ace of Swords, like the Fool, and you've got this Ace of Swords that you've kind of like created for yourself through this process of journaling, because you're channeling kind of your higher self through this. Now you have landed possibly in the Two of Swords, an indecision, right? Because now you're like, I'm clear on who I want to be. But now I understand that if I do go in this direction, I'm going to have to make a lot of shifts, changes. People are going to feel ways, da 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 da. And I would love to tell you, fuck it. Who gives a shit? Just do it anyways and see what happens. But that's not as easy as it is, right? Because I have 3 children and I can't lock my door in the morning when my kid wants to see me and be mad at me first thing in the morning because he's not going to get to go straight to the park. He's got to go to school. And, it's like all of these different things are going to meet you on your path, but those things that are currently in your reality now are the things that you have to work with in order to get to the desired outcome. Because what you are currently faced with in your reality is a mirror to the things that you need to overcome. And that's what's going to be handled in this area. So you may have a lot of confusion and indecision about the path, but you've already put in your order. So this is kind of on its way. And that's okay. But this is also understanding that if you are walking this path, that this is kind of non-negotiable, because there are things and attachments in your life that you are not aware of. For me personally, it was person to person relationships. So the value where I devalued myself was through codependency, people pleasing, trying to control and manipulate situations in order to stabilize my mood because of my enmeshed relationship with my mother. I learned how to control and empathize and do all of these things just to make sure that the eggshells I were walking on were going to be okay. Like it was like, you like, let me just balance all of this stuff together. So it was a lot of different things that I didn't truly understand, because you go through a lot of this on your journey, a lot of convincing yourself that everything is there for a reason. You're justified in your actions. I'm justified in everything that I do because of the path that I'm on. And I'm using these certain things to make myself feel better because I want to feel better and I deserve it. So I'm going to indulge in alcohol or, my other things like green stuff, which whatever. I'm going to work out till I working out is fantastic, but doing it to avoid other things is when it gets into devil energy. When anything knocks you off your balanced path, you are going to be in your devil energy, and this is what you are going to be working with in this tower, these tower moments, or these things that come up to you. And the way that you realize that this is now starting to take form is that this comes in. So this is actually a very, 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 very exciting time, because if you have began to build your stillness and your regulation and began to ground yourself or do different things, and that has now opened you up to drinking more water. Like I said, maybe it's leading to different things you want to do because you have all this free time, because you're free of the news, you're free of all this stuff, right? So you're starting to clear out your space, and then you've got your idea, you've got your vision, and now you've got to reconcile some things. However, um, because of your stillness and your clarity, now you're able to view this tower moment as it enters your life and look at it as kind of like, oh, what are you here to teach me? Okay, I understand that the life that I want or the thing that I'm after could quite possibly be being caused by something that I am doing that has absolutely no connection in my mind to what's happening, right? So, um, I keep hitting a brick wall in my business or in um, pretty much almost anything that I do having regards to person relationship, doctor's appointments, just things just falling apart all the time. Um, and I had no idea it was because I didn't value or respect myself. Because when you call to make a phone call to make a doctor's appointment and everything goes well, and then you get to the doctor's appointment and then something goes wrong and you're like, again, or something like that happens, right? You think you took everything right, on the right path, you're feeling good, life is going good, you're doing things, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, again. It's because there is an energetic um frequency in your field that is constantly drawing these experiences to you because you have not overcome them. So even though you're feeling good, you're looking good, things are different for a little bit, maybe on the outside things have changed a little bit, you're in a different third dimensional kind of vibe because obviously life brings you good things normally. But then it's kind of like you keep getting hit and knocked down and you're back in this and it's like, what's going on? Why can't I get a good relationship? Why does the same person keep coming back? Why do I keep running into the same type of situation? I keep getting into car accidents, I keep getting stolen from, I keep getting this, da da da. It's because you are energetically pulling these things into your reality in order to overcome them. They're the patterns that are coming back to you in order to choose a different way. And that can be really confusing when you're doing it from a dysregulated nervous system. So, regulating your nervous system and allowing this intuitive understanding and downloads and all of these different things to kind of come into your psyche, which will really only occur if you get rid of the outside noise. Because if you're still consuming media, but you're having times for stillness, it's like in your loop, you're going through what you listened to that day. And even though you can close your eyes and be in the loop and still come out and feel a little bit of presence, there's still some benefit from that. Um, you're not able to get into the depths. Wow. The depths are where the questions you've been asking in your conscious waking life are going to be answered through just a form of understanding. It's just like an implementation of information that gets literally downloaded into your psyche, and you're like, aha, I get every single bit, piece, corner, understand. It's magical. That only happens through what I just spoke about, and I'm beating a dead horse, but nobody does it. And nobody really impresses it upon people as like, you have to do this unless you want to be manifesting like material crappy little items, like even I did through all of that crap. It's like that's all you're going to be doing. It's just like, oh, I got concert tickets, oh, I got it's like, no, it's not how it works. So you have to be prepared for things falling out of your life that you have no idea why, when, what, how, where's the lesson in my best friend leaving me for me to get this, right? So I'm not going to go into that. I'll talk about that later. Let's talk about some tower moments later so I can give people some clarity later. So you've had your tower moments, right? And now through your tower moments and your stillness, you're going to reflect, you're going to talk, you're going to invite in the emotions, you're going to try to stay in the eye of the storm, and you're going to have to trust that things are going to work out for you. And oh man, this is like a speedy process, right? So along this process of stillness and all of these things, you are going to be met with different emotions and uncomfortable feelings that are going to come to the surface that you are going to practice on inviting in remaining in the center of it, journaling to it, transmuting these emotions, right? So I'll give you an example. When I had to sit in stillness, a lot of uncomfortability about my hermit mode, not necessarily self-imposed in the beginning, but I have gone through almost a decade of isolation, and now I see it as a gift. But even on sad days and bad days, it's not a gift, right? Like, I'm lonely, I can be very lonely, and it's because I wouldn't have been able to acquire the knowledge or work through the enmeshed relationship that was holding me back and all of these different things if I was constantly being pulled in different directions by a bunch of different people, being um, gaslit into, and not in a bad way, but people around you are going to try and pull you out of your misery to make you feel better because they love you, but you need to be in it. You need to figure it out. And the things that would come up for me, or the things that I had to work through, were feelings of shame and guilt, and trying to incorporate my spirituality from what felt like a hobby to my everyday life, and emerging it with my children, and trying to be a spiritual being versus having spirituality. So I would gather information, I guess, on different perspectives and different things for beliefs that I held about myself. And I didn't truly understand, it's like, what it is necessarily that you're working with. But as long as you start, and I'll make another video on how it looks to start shadow work and really integrate the shadow. But once I began to accept myself for who I truly am, and realize that comparison is a complete and utter disgusting waste of time. And I feel like now that, since I've kind of changed a little bit, and a lot of the people in my day to day life now I see comparing themselves to me, there's, well, we can, ooh, um, it's like I feel this empathy for them, because the only thing I truly want to do is give people this information. But when people ask me, "Oh my gosh, did you take Ozempic? What did you do? What did you do?" I'm like, "No, I actually began to do what every mother thinks is evil, and I began to love myself and take time back for myself, and realize that what I was doing was not benefiting anybody, and I needed to actually pull it all back and start again." And through that process, I've regulated my nervous system, and da da da. And everybody looks at me like I'm crazy. They're like, "Okay, you mean Ozempic, or you mean, like, I'm going to do Ozempic or whatever," right? Like, nobody wants to do the work. Nobody wants to hear about the work. Nobody, whatever. And that's why I'm here on YouTube, because nobody here wants to hear about it. And so when you are inviting in these emotions and these shadow parts of yourself, because you're feeling all these horrible sorts of ways, I truly implore you to use your tools. Now, humans have many, many tools. And the tools that I used to get myself to feeling better about myself and loving myself were my voice, my frequency, that I can speak and communicate how I'm truly feeling inside, to get alone time. Say, communicating as effectively without, too much emotion, what my needs are, and getting them met from time to time. Being aware that my needs could be met opens a door for you to see, okay, there's a path here, there's a way. Or I I do have my lips done, because my lips fall flat on my face normally, which is nothing that matters in this world at all, but I went and got them done. But everything else I don't do. So I do a lot of face yoga, I do a lot of natural things, I drink a ton of water, I do all this other stuff. So I began to just work a lot with castor oil, massaging myself, getting into fascia and all these different things to where I could just be with myself in a way that's aligned with me because I'm an esthetician. So I do skincare and I like to do things that are um, affordable and extremely transformative for my guests so that they can feel as though they're not leaving me and going home into uh, just a dark world of nothing and then they have to wait for another glow up next month. It's just like I want people to feel good all the time. Hence afterglow alchemy. So I want to just clarify that the tower is just a perception. It can be scary because you don't know what's going on. But if you are aware that you are on a process and you have now cleared out your day to day life of a ton of noise, you've began to live a little bit more authentically to yourself. That when this blip, 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 blip walks into your life, you've got this huge space of awareness. You're not focused on all of these external things, all of these shows, all of these world events, all of these different things that are literally out of your control and will be there when you decide to return to them. And I promise you, you will get information about what's going on with the world. Like I can't get away from it totally, no matter how hard I try. It's like I still know what's going on, but I'm not like now I have an awareness but no emotional attachment, and guess what? I'm still doing nothing about it, But what I am doing is not carrying around anger. I'm being nicer to my community. I'm driving safer in my community because I live in LA and sometimes people can be aggressive. So I am now being just my own air conditioner. I'm setting my own temperature. I'm driving at my own rate. I'm not letting any push me around, which I never really did, but it's just I'm not letting things sway me anymore. I'm just existing my own bubble and I have transformed my reality in such a way that it reflects that back to me. So I don't necessarily need to even be concerned with that anymore. But the lack but that's also from removing that horrible media from my life that just was there to attack me and take me away from my true creative energy, which has now changed people's lives in my day-to-day life. Like I see other people around me trying to do more for themselves, other moms around me doing more for themselves because they see me doing it. And we all have the same life, right? You have the time, I got the time. What am I doing with my time that's different than your time? Talk to me, I'll tell you. So I just really feel like the tower moment doesn't have to be perceived as something that is detrimental. It can be received as a gift or as an excitement. Um, but when it comes to finances or attachments to people and different things like that, yeah, it's scary because what does life look like after that? Well, that's the point. Or maybe maybe life looks like this after that, but this thing that you were holding on to can't come with you. Like, for instance, my best friend of 17 years that I manifested moving out to LA with, and we finally made it within 3 months. This happened, and it's been 10 years now. And it's been one of the biggest turning points of my life to finding myself and my self worth. She helped me love myself and find my self worth because if I would have stayed here, my whole life went into this relationship, this codependent relationship where I was in servitude to her needs because I wanted to support her. I was the stronger one of the two, and she was more docile and needed more navigate. Like it took on a weird type of relationship dynamic that was unhealthy to my future and to what I desired to be. And what I desire to be is somebody who changes everybody's life and influences and helps an awakening process, not somebody who serves somebody who could give a shit or whatever it was. It was a beautiful friendship. I'm not going to do that. But now I'm still living in California. We both got what we wanted. We're both still doing our thing, you know? It's kind of interesting. But this had to happen. And it was something that after it happened, I was still attached to. I didn't release it. And so I hindered my transformation. Although I was in my shadow for that entire time. And to be honest, when you are basically birthed to be in an enmeshed relationship with your mother, nothing's wrong with taking years to integrate the new you into yourself, because that's going to take a lot of undoing. And when you are under severe chronic stress, you have to understand that it's going to take time, and that's okay, because the process is beautiful. And all those little things that you experienced in the darkness that kept you there because you were okay in those moments and you thought you could make it because life wasn't so bad in these some moments. Maybe there was a friend, a relationship, a job, something that God gave you or source gave you that made it tolerable. Imagine what's on the other side of that. Imagine what is there when you truly decide to live authentically to yourself. And I just want to say one more thing, and I really hope I'm recording right now. Okay, yes, I am. I just want to say one more thing about um maybe I don't. Maybe I just forgot it because that happens a lot. So I think I just forgot it and I'm not going to say anything else. But I'm going to make a couple videos about tower moments and how to navigate them and what they look like, and what you could possibly do during these rough times. And I'm also going to talk about different things that I've manifested during my life and the different states of awareness that I had during, or thought processes and energy I was in during these manifestations that were completely intentional. Uh, the larger ones that I'm currently living, totally just life happening, unintentional manifestations, like the regular ones that you're just kind of living, right? The big dreams and goals that you have that somehow you walked into because little you is so pure that they could get you there. So it's very, very important that we dive into and find the thought process for everybody to find a resonance that we can tune into, because that's the hardest part, is people trying to find what somebody else's stillness feels like or somebody else's clarity feels like. And you will have these, I want to offer these insights to hopefully allow you to get a grip on at least something that resonates with you enough to utilize it until you can step into your own becoming and inner knowing, because everyone is extremely unique and authentic, and that's what makes this life and this world so vibrant and rich. So the matrix is going to be there, but it's very intoxicating and captivating, and it's easy to be one with the crowd, you know, but to be one with yourself and one with source and the universe, you begin to turn into a little individual iridescent glowing sparkle that is purely yours, and you get to see how beautiful of a flower you truly are. And all you have to do is start to just not give a fuck what anybody thinks, feels, says, does, because their opinions are constantly changing. And why don't you truly give them something to talk about, you know? And if somebody is going to, uh, make you feel any sort of way for deciding to be a different way, that's a red flag. And maybe that one you can take care of on yourself on your own, because anybody who's going to tell you that you can't be, do, say, think, da 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 da, doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad, but that's somebody that you're going to have to push away from, in terms of either cutting out what they say about you, putting up like a energetic like block towards their ideas towards you. I don't know what the circumstances could be for each individual, but like for instance, my husband, when somebody you care about has a really a really intense idea about what you're doing, and it actually rocks your home or your relationship, let it. Let it. Tap into your power and understand that the rockiness and the shaking around you is exactly what needs to happen for stuff to come to form. So this person who loves you, who is expressing their disdain in you, if the foundation in this relationship is going to work for you, and it's something that is stable enough, let some noise happen. Let somebody's feathers get ruffled. You guys will come back together. Make some magic in that. Shake things up. I left him for 6 months. I took everything and I took off in my car. No, I took off and I left. I was like, bye, I'm out of here. And let things shake up a little bit, and let things fall away. Make some moves on your own for things that you know are not serving you. And I'm going to cut it off here because I'm talking too much. But happy awakening. I hope that you guys tune in for my next video. This was gifted from me from my grandfather, who passed on in 1998 and is now one of my spirit teams. So I would love to tell you guys a story about my little physical items that I have gotten through my manifestation and different things that I do uh, while on this journey. All right, I'll talk to you next time. Bye.